What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Chewburger84 here from the Alternate Reality Network, and we are finally back with some exciting Marvel Strike Force news. Now, I am so excited to talk to you guys today. You see, not only do we have the full kit details for the brand new legendary character coming to the game very, very soon, but you see, we here on Alternate Reality, we got some pull, man. We got a little bit of an exclusive. Something you're not going to see from any of those other content creators out there. That's right, ladies and gents. She is actually here in this building. Ladies and gentlemen, Sue Storm. Sue, come on, we talked about this. Rehearsals, if you go invisible while I'm doing the intro, I look like a mad person talking to a camera by myself in a bedroom. Sue. All right. See, Invisible Woman, I am not taking you to Chipotle after this. I don't care what your agent said. Alright, so all silly little skits aside, the information that you're about to hear in this video has been provided directly to us by Foxnext via their Envoy program. What does that mean? That means the information you're about to hear has been provided accurately directly to us by Foxnext, so that you can start planning whether this team and this character are going to be the right ones for you. Now, Sue Storm is going to be a protector character, but not the traditional kind of protector that you're used to. See, I know you're thinking of taunts, and you're thinking of evades, you're thinking of, all those traditional defensive maneuvers. But she does something very interesting, and you're going to hear about that, especially with her special and her ult. So let's go through her abilities first of all. Now, her basic is interesting in the sense that not only does she leap in for a little bit of invisible damage, but what she does is she gives herself 10% of her maximum health back as a barrier. Now, what's exciting about this is that we have Mr. Fantastic on this same team, who every time a Fantastic Four character attacks someone, he allows someone else to get an assist. Now, if RNG goes your way and you're getting multiple assists on Sue Storm, this may mean that she can get a very large barrier up, making her quite beefy herself, even though she's not necessarily supposed to be taking that damage herself, which you'll hear about in a little minute. Now, when you look at her special, it's not something you'd normally see on a tank. It's something you expect to see more on a support character. You see, with this ability, what she does is that she cleanses 2 negative effects from all of her ally characters. Then she gives 2 turns of defense up to everyone, which is always a good thing. Then she gives everyone on the team stealth. But here's the really cool thing that she does at the end. She then looks at the character on your team that has the highest amount of health and says, hey, look at that guy, go and hit him, and takes their stealth away. Now, to make sure they don't eat too much damage, she also gives them 3 deflect and immunity for 2 turns. Now, this is a really cool mechanic, and it gives the Fantastic Four some possible usability outside of war, which is where it seems this team is built at the moment. Because you see, if you get yourself a nice beefy tank, that means that that tank is going to have taunt, they're going to have deflect, they're going to have immunity, and that means that your backline is hidden. You can get to work. You can make sure that if you're getting absolutely zonked, that tank is going to eat all of that damage. So it's not tanking herself, she's giving the tank job to someone else. Now, you'll need to be careful with this ability. You may need to play around with a team before you set it for a defense, because red stars can give characters a surprising amount of health. The last thing that you're going to want to do is give all of that to a Minerva 7 red star, because she's going to be the first one to die. So make sure you keep an eye out for who has the most health at the start of a match, because that's definitely going to play a role further out towards this fight. Now, her ultimate is not nothing to sneeze at either. You see, she gives offense down for 2 whole turns to everyone on the opposition team. Now, to me, again, this reeks of a potential raid or maybe even Fear the Darkness functionality, because they have so many characters on the map that are really trying to hurt you. So if you're able to, right off the bat, mitigate a lot of that damage because they're dealing 50% less, even if they have turn meter stack like we've seen recently in the Alpha and the Greek raids, it's going to help you survive a lot. So I like the idea at the moment of Sue Storm in a couple of different hybrid potentials that's really going to maximize this ability. But she's not done there. To make sure that people are taking even less damage, she is going to put up a barrier for 40% of her maximum health on all of her buddies around her. Now, her passive makes this even better. But remember, when we have her in war with all of her Fantastic Four buddies, as well as Namor, or Namor, depending on how you pronounce it, you'll find that there are so many stacked health buffs from the rooms, from the helicarrier, and from her allies, that this can be quite a hefty barrier and a lot of effort to take down for the opposition team. Now, her passive, because you might have noticed so far, she ain't doing too much damage herself. She relies on the other team going, "Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?" You see, every time someone hits a character with a barrier, when you have Sue Storm on your team, a Fantastic Four ally, Sue Storm is going to slap them in the face for 250% damage, meaning that she is designed very much like Colossus to chip away at the health of anyone that is hitting your team. Now, how this will function with characters that provide AoE will be very, very interesting to see. Will a rocket potentially self-destruct because they've just hit 5 of your allies? We'll have to wait and see, but it opens up some potential, I guess, manipulative ways that you can make a team just crash themselves up against your barrier. Now, she also gives herself 20% health. She also gives the rest of her team maximum 20% health for all of her Fantastic Four and Namor allies. Now, her kit all by itself as a standalone is not too bad. You can kind of plug and play her in a variety of different squads. Now, because her damage is completely reliant on her having barrier up on Fantastic Four, that brings her down a little bit in usability in our eyes, but all in all, she is definitely a slightly above average character. She's not in the top tier for me yet. We'll have to wait until we see her speed and her health pool. But either way, I'm really looking forward to getting my hands onto Sue Storm very soon. So now what we're going to do is move on and tell you what you're all dying to know right now. How do you get your hands on Sue Storm? All right, for her unlock requirements, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. The bad news is most of the characters that you need to unlock Sue Storm right now, they're not in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be the Sinister Six. So if you didn't buy them recently, you may struggle to be able to unlock them at 5 stars. Now, the very good news is all of that's going to change from next week, because all of these characters are going to be farmable in the game within the next week. That's right, straight from Foxnext. In the next week, all of the Sinister Six characters are going to be 100% farmable. Now, Green Goblin, he's already in the game. You know where he lives. Just go and knock on his door over at Nexus 5-6. Now, Shocker is going to be coming into his own campaign node next week. Me personally, because I really didn't do his blitz at all, I had some time off, I'm going to be refreshing that probably up to 100 cores per day, because I really don't want to miss out on this unlock. Now, we also have 3 store farmable characters, which is really good news. We're going to have Rhino in the Blitz store, and he is going to have 1 more Blitz between now and when she comes out, that being the Invisible Woman. We're going to have Vulture flying across the other side of that screen, going into the Arena store. Now, the only one that may be tough to farm, because there is an element of RNG involved, is Mysterio. And it kind of ties into his thematic themes, I guess. And that is the Raid store. So what I'm doing from today is I'm going to save up as many cores as I can, and I'm going to be saving as much of the Raid tickets as I can to make sure that next week when Mysterio goes into the Raid store, that I'm going to refresh that store a couple of times per day to see if I can't just sneak on in to unlocking that Invisible Woman. Now, you're probably asking, Chew, we all got a little bit of a surprise when it came to Phoenix. Does this mean that all characters now for legendaries are going to need 6-star unlocks? The good news is, the news provided to us by Foxnext today is that it's going to be a 5-star unlock only. It seems that Phoenix, because she's so powerful, she was the exception, not the rule. So ladies and gents, to summarize that again, this character looks like she is going to be halfway decent. I think there's a lot of potential for her in a variety of different hybrid teams, but for War, she's obviously going to do very well with her Fantastic Four buddies and Namor. She's going to be a 5-star unlock, and you're going to need Green Goblin, available from Nexus 5/6 in the campaign. Shocker will have a campaign node next week. Vulture will be in the Arena store, Rhino will be over in the Blitz store, and Mysterio will be in the Raid store. So make sure that you start saving a lot of this currency over the next week. Get ready for this event coming. We don't know exactly when it's going to drop, but make sure you stay tuned to obviously this YouTube channel. Make sure you head on over and download the Strikeforce Masters of Launch podcast, available every single Tuesday, where we talk about news just like this. And if you want to catch me and ask the questions directly, I do stream every day now on Twitch. If there's anything I haven't covered, head on over to alternatereality.com and chances are the answers are there. Now, if you want to do a brother a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. Look, if there's something on the screen you could push, maybe go ahead and do that for me. So again, the information that's been provided to you today is part of the Foxnext Envoy program. That information has come direct from them. I'm Chewburger84 from Alternate Reality, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. Cheers.